Conflict between East and West, 6.5. Medieval Europe and the Byzantine Empire were united in a single faith, Christianity. Over the centuries, however, cultural, political, and religious differences brought the two parts of the old Roman Empire into conflict. The two regions had been quite different even in the days of the old Roman emperors. Eastern half of the empire had many cities, much trade, and great wealth. The western half was mostly rural and agricultural, and not nearly as wealthy. Other differences became more pronounced after the fall of Rome. Byzantine culture was largely shaped by Greek heritage. The West was influenced by Frankish and Germanic cultures. In Constantinople, people spoke Greek. In the West, Latin was the language of scholars, diplomats, and the church. Perhaps most important was the conflict that developed between the churches of the East and West. After the fall of Rome, popes gradually emerged as powerful figures in Western Europe. The popes claimed supreme religious authority over all Christians. The emperors and patriarchs of the East resisted such claims. Other differences added to the conflict. Let's look at three major disagreements and how they led to the split in the Christian church. Iconoclasm. The first major disagreement concerned religious icons. Many Christians in medieval times used images of Jesus, Mary, and the saints in worship and prayer. Some Christians in the East, however, believed that people were wrongly worshiping the icons themselves as if they were divine. In 730 CE, Byzantine Emperor Leo III banned the use of religious images in all Christian churches and homes. The policy of iconoclasm, or icon smashing, led to the destruction of much religious art. Throughout Christian lands, people cried out in protest. In Rome, popes were angry because Leo's orders applied of parts of Italy that were under Byzantine control. Pope Gregory III even excommunicated the emperor. The Byzantine Empire lifted its ban on icons in 843, but the dispute over iconoclasm had caused a major split between the East and West. It also helped drive popes in Rome to look for more support and protection against enemies. The crowning of the Holy Roman Emperor. Another major disagreement occurred in 800 CE. At the time, Empress Irene was the ruler of the Byzantine Empire. Because she was a woman, Pope Leo III did not view her as a true ruler. More important, the Pope needed the protection of a strong leader to help defend the church in the West. As you learned in chapter 2, Leo decided to crown Charlemagne, the king of the Franks, as Holy Roman Emperor. The Pope's actions outraged the Byzantines, who felt that they were the rightful rulers of the Roman Empire. The final break. Matters between East and West came to a head in 1054. The Patriarch of Constantinople, Ceruleus, wanted to reassert Byzantine control of the church. He closed all churches that worshipped with Western rites. Pope Leo IX was furious. He sent Cardinal Humbert to Constantinople. The cardinal marched up to the altar of the Hagia Sophia. In front of everyone, he laid down a bull, a proclamation by the Pope, excommunicating Ceruleus. Ceruleus responded by excommunicating the cardinal. This was only a symbolic act, for the Patriarch did not have that power. But it showed that the split, or the schism between East and West, was complete. Despite future attempts to heal the division, the Eastern Orthodox Church and the Roman Catholic Church were now separate churches. 6.6 Chapter Summary. In this chapter, you learned about the Byzantine Empire and the Eastern Orthodox Church. After the fall of Rome, the eastern half of the Roman Empire lived on with its capital at Constantinople. Today it is referred to as the Byzantine Empire. Destroyed by rioting in 532, Constantinople was rebuilt by Emperor Justinian I. The Byzantine Empire was a Christian state. The Eastern Orthodox Church was at the center of daily life and inspired great art and architecture. Byzantine emperors and patriarchs clashed with the popes in Rome over a number of issues. These disagreements led to a schism between the Roman Catholic Church and the Eastern Orthodox Church. In Unit 2, you will read more about the fate of the Byzantines.